At 16, my dad disowned me for my brother's lie. "You're a disgrace," he yelled. 2 weeks later, his pride shattered when he found out the truth. I'll never forget the look on her face. She had heard every word. And for the first time in a long time, I noticed something different in her gaze. Something sharp and frigid. And I knew things were going to change. I did not move. I could not. My feet were stuck to the floor as I saw Mom look at Dad as if she had never seen him before. She said nothing at first. She merely stood there, her keys still in hand and the grocery bag slipping from her fingers. I recall seeing an apple roll out and strike the floor. Nobody noticed. Not Dad, Alex, or the co-workers who were still laughing. But I did. And I felt something irreparable had broken open. Mom carefully laid the rest of the bag down and turned around. She passed past me without saying anything, yet our gazes briefly connected. I expected disappointment or perhaps guilt. She usually gave me this look when Dad was being tough. But this time things were different. It was fire. I did not see what happened next. At least not right now. I grabbed a hoodie off the stairs and departed. I'm not sure where I was headed. I ended up sitting behind the corner store a few blocks away, watching the rain fall into puddles for what felt like hours. My phone died. I was wet through again. But I felt still. For the first time in weeks, I didn't feel anxious, hurt, or confused. I was angry. Not the kind of rage that dissipates quickly, but the kind that seeps into your bones. Slow, steady, and concentrated. When I returned home later that night, something had changed in the air. The living room was quiet. The guests were gone. Alex's game console had been unplugged, and Mom was seated at the kitchen table, sipping tea as if she hadn't just witnessed her husband laughing about abandoning his child in the pouring rain. "Come sit," she said, not looking up. I paused. "Is Dad?" "He's in the garage." "Don't worry." I was sitting nearby. The tea in front of me was still heating. "You didn't tell me," she said. "You didn't say what he said to you that night." "I assumed you already knew." "I didn't," she replied gently. "Alex told me you stormed out after breaking something and screaming at Dad." I stared down, my jaw clenched. "Of course he did." "But then I heard what your father said today," she remarked, her voice softening slightly. And suddenly a lot of things made sense. We sat quietly. "I'm sorry," she added, making me flinch. Not because of the apology, but because it seemed genuine. Too real, like if she had finally witnessed what I had been quietly going through. I didn't say anything. I didn't know what to say, but that moment should have marked the beginning of things becoming better. It wasn't because that's when Alex knew he was losing control, which he didn't take well. The following few weeks were a slow, stifling descent. Mom began to